Namaskar. I, Neha Tripathi, welcome you all to the show. The first rhyme that we teach our young kids is Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And that diamond in the sky starts creating curiosity in the young minds from very early age. This curiosity builds and takes the shape of astronomy in their minds. They grow with the dream of reaching that diamond in the sky, touch it with their hands, and know it to the fullest. Yes, the world above us seems to be very exciting. The thought of being in outer space, relatively near the moon, the Mars, or the stars can give you goosebumps. But that world is completely different from what we are living in. How? Let's see in our report.
Astronomy is the study of celestial bodies like planets, moons, stars, including our sun, galaxies, comets, asteroids, meteors, and whatnot. The list just goes on, but a child's mind and heart is above these terms and technicalities. A child questions why the sun, the moon, or the stars don't fall, just like the ball that he throws up. He questions how these objects are visible if they are far away from us. Why the sun is yellow and the moon is white? What stars are made of? These are very innocent questions, but they have deep celestial answers, and these answers shape our world. Space is like a magic wand, which makes our life better. The advancement in any field today has had its derivation from the struggle for safe space exploration. The computers, Wi-Fi, even adult diapers are the outcome of a solution for astronauts sitting in their space suits in the small modules. Our calendars, days, seasons are all due to astronomical knowledge. The wireless technology is present today because some passionate astronomer was studying the light and found many more wavelengths which were undetected by human eye. So today, we will try to explore about astronomy in school education and what our kids can do to fulfill their dream of pursuing a career in astronomy.
Today, we have invited two stargazers who can enlighten you with their knowledge about the outer space and of course tell how you can be a part of it, how you can pursue your career in outer space in the world of astronomy. Please welcome with me Mrs. N. Ratnashri. She is the director of Nehru Planetarium. She has been creating the zeal about the space sciences in kids since last 2 decades. Her interests are archaeoastronomy and astronomy outreach. And we have with us Mr. Arvind Ranade. He is a scientist working for astronomy and space sciences communication and popularization in Vigyan Prasar. He is into design and development of astronomical kits. So he is the right person if you want to make a telescope or interested in having one. Both of them conduct workshops and conferences on astronomy and space sciences, including telescope making at national and regional level. A very warm welcome to both of you to the show. My first question that just struck my mind, actually there are a number of questions, just like the asteroids. You know, they keep on moving in the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. There are a number of questions coming in my mind, but one of them struck just now, that can I be an astronomer or am I late for that? I have lost the spaceship somewhere in between.
In a sense, potentially all of us are.
Okay.
In some basic sense. Astronomy being a science which interests almost everyone, and by observing what's out there, what's in the sky, the celestial objects and so on, the ancient astronomers essentially did that. That's how astronomy originated. And so we all have that potential and we all have that interest, many of us. these days, of course, what happens is that for city children, that inspiration for astronomy maybe we have slightly lessened that possibilities because of the light pollution. They don't even get to see how inspiring are the stars to look at, and then to learn about these stars. But there the opportunities are enormous.
Okay.
If anyone wants to know what are these stars, how I wonder what you are up above the world so high, and know about them, there are many opportunities, opportunities children have to quench their thirst, to get to know what stars are. So we all have that, and there are also many, apart from the professional possibilities of going on and maybe doing a PhD in astronomy and going on to be scientist, there are also many citizen science possibilities which are there currently.
Very good.
So we all
what
can
do you
be.
think, Arvindji? Have I lost the spaceship or do I have a
Well,
chance?
I mean, this is two way of answering this question. Who is asking this question? Like for example, if at all this question is coming from a school-going children or the person who is yet to design his profession, then certainly he has a lot of scope to go for the subject. He can bend his mind, of course, understanding the needs to explore the astronomy and what the requisites are there, so that he or she can pursue the career.
Yeah, but just like
however, what Dr. Ratnashri has mentioned, suppose this question is coming from and somebody who is a highly professional, let us say a bank employee, or let us say anybody for that matter, and a businessman, still we can say he has not lost the chance, because as an amateur astronomer, he has lot of things to contribute. He has lot of things to do it. In fact, if you look at the discoveries, especially most of the comet discoveries, the credit goes to the amateur astronomers who are not necessary to be a professional one, who has trying to make his own career, especially as a professional.
But if someone is a bank employee or a businessman, as you said, but he or she has a science background, she's a science graduate or has done science, studied science for a level, then how do
well, in fact, that is what, again, let me come back to the same question, like what kind of curiosity a person has.
Yeah, that is very important.
Especially just to explore what they are, how do they are, and understanding that to the level what they understand the science. For example, as I said, like the two professionals that you mentioned about, perhaps they will certainly be satisfied with the answer that okay, the star has an atmosphere. They also go with the nuclear fusion reactions to generate the light. But if they at all would like to know how do they are getting produced, then certainly then the person has to be more go into the depth of the knowledge, and then the certain requirements are there. So I think it depends again on the what person would like to be and to what extent.
Yes, and the curiosity continues, and it people are more curious these days because there are a number of news reports coming up, and many of them are from astronomical field. This satellite is launching, that satellite is launching, someone is going in space, America is doing that, India is doing this, ISRO is doing certain things. So these curiosities can develop at a later age as well, after reading all this, and people are interested, more interested.
Yes, and it happens also. It does happen. Many people develop this curiosity or interest, perhaps because what all information is around us, what is coming to us, and so sometimes, though, I mean, some of the information perhaps sometimes could be misleading, so a little bit of guidance would also be a very necessary thing.
Astronomy as a subject, how it is going to help students in school curriculum, how to involve this astronomy education in schools, in school curriculum, and how kids, the students who are watching us, can go ahead with their zeal in astronomy. We will discuss this after a short break.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back after the break. We have our two esteemed guests with us and we are talking about astronomy education. So my question to you, Arvindji, is what is the right criteria? What is the criteria right now for in the school curriculum for astronomy, subject-wise?
Well, I think if you're talking about the astronomy in the school education, I think the present education system, the way it is, there are up to certain astronomy has already been introduced. Let us say about the planetary astronomy, up to the planets, and a bit of details about our to an extent about the one light year, which includes nearby objects also, and to some extent about the galaxy. Looking into the requirements of the subject, I think to get the young generation interested into the subject, I think the present the text or the curriculum which is involved will not be perhaps 100% satisfactory, but to some extent it is also not been neglected by the curriculum development authorities. But however, astronomy is a subject at the school going children is certainly not expected that they will understand each and every part of the explorations of the astronomy. To such an extent, I mean, if I have to say in the best way, is that informal education system is helping the school going children to pursue their interest, especially Dr. Ratnashri, she is leading an planetarium. So planetariums are the best institutions where the understanding about the astronomy to the level of curiosity, little more ahead of the textbook is already been there. Only thing is that the curiosity of the children will go on increasing provided they visit such places. They explore their own creativity by visiting institutions, reading more about it, watching some of the subject areas in which they are really interested. And certainly as far as the career is concerned, school going children need to just keep on exploring the things that they come across and try to understand that in a more details. That could be the good enough from my side.
As Arvindji has mentioned about the planetariums, how planetariums are helping these kids, like in school what they are getting and how you are aiding to that education?
Yeah, in school level, if you see, a while ago, every class textbook used to have one chapter called Our Universe. So, and then gradually it would, the introduction to various aspects of astronomy would be there. And out of all, let's say in a class, there would be definitely a good number of students who would be very interested in astronomy. As they would have, as part of the school, they would have come to a planetarium show nearby. That is one thing. As they grow a little older and they are able to move on their own, then they gravitate towards a planetarium, because that is the first accessible location for them where they can get something beyond what is immediately available to them.
And we have planetariums all over India. All the states.
And planetarium have to be a very accessible place for such young children who kind of have this thirst for getting to know. And in a planetarium, see the show etc. that which is done, it is for general awareness. But beyond that, every planetarium has a lot of activities for young people who come, and they should be encouraged. And then these can be over like workshops, maybe over a period of time, longer workshops. But in particular for these young students who have keen interest, planetarium should be the place where they can do long time exploration. So maybe over a year or so, do some project, learning project.
Do the schools coordinate with you for such workshops in the schools, or the kids have to come to you?
So for the short term workshops, yes, I mean there's a coordination between the planetarium and schools, to do various kinds of explorations for young students. Like we now have this solar eclipse coming up in December. So a lot of our workshops are concentrating on giving access to schools how to experience that with hands-on activities. On the other hand, some students, and this happens a lot, both at school level, even at college level. if they have an interest in astronomy.
Yes, yes.
So as I was saying, the first place they gravitate to is the planetarium because that's accessible. And now, of course, many of the research institutes and all the places in India which have cutting edge work ongoing are also opening themselves up for young people with this interest. But of course, not all of them can get immediate access, but every one of them can get access to a planetarium
Yes,
to
of
begin
course,
with.
of course.
And so planetarium do need to play this role of nurturing that interest.
Yes, yes.
So
that
they
is
should
really-
never go away thinking that, okay, I mean, TK, we did some exploration. So they should come back again and again, and they should do something. They should, after that, they should be in a stage where they have got a little maturity about what doing this science is, what all is required, and then maybe go on and do some programs in research institutes once they are in college and so on. And so many such students have passed through our planetarium
Very good.
from very young age to college age, and
you have been
then
training
went on
for
to
last-
become do their PhD and so on. Quite a large number of students.
Research activities are also, the people. kids are
Maybe
doing
call them pre-research activities so the students get an idea, because the gap between what is happening in the research from what is learned in school textbooks and so on, the gap is actually quite a wide gap, and it needs to be bridged.
Yes,
and we are the
that
people
is-
who
yeah,
have
you
the
people have
responsibility of bridging that.
Yes,
and so
that-
there are many ways in which this can be bridged through the different kind of activities.
There are many private players entering into science education at school level. So, how much role do you think they would play for bridging this gap? What Rashid
in
is
fact, I
saying?
think everybody is always trying to help in satisfying the curiosity that is coming across in the youngsters' mind. So certainly, number of planetariums which are there across the country. I mean, if I am not wrong, perhaps there are 40 plus kind of planetariums are there in India today. But ultimately, planetaria is a well infrastructured facility at only one place. But if you look at the countryside, the population is spread all the length and breadth of the country. So certainly it is not possible for the planetaria or any institutions to actually mobilize them and bring back to the well infrastructured facility.
Okay.
So certainly some private players are there, and they are doing a good job, and I think it is required also, because it is not possible for any kind of an institutional level that they can satisfy and they can meet the requirements.
Of
So
so
ultimately
many
private
schools
players
and
are certainly playing a major role in this, and credit has to be given to
A
them.
few projects you can suggest to our viewers, government projects, government initiatives on this astronomy education or something that they can
No, I
enroll
think
to?
what Dr. Ratnashri has correctly mentioned, that
Yeah.
curiosity is something that, if somebody says that my curiosity is satisfied, then perhaps the person has limited, his scope of going into the subject. So curiosity is something that will keep on you, driving all the time. So as we mentioned, like up to some school level, visiting the planetaria is the best place. And of course, there are planetarias like what Ratnashri is representing, wherein there is a good initiative from the planetarium people. Like Ratnashri herself is largely being involved in bringing the children, trying to give them a more scope in doing the hands-on activity by themselves. And that is perhaps is the one of the most necessity of this part and parcel of this science education, because there are few things which are already there to see, watch and enjoy, but beyond that is only come when you are giving them a facility to explore the ideas and contribute into that.
Yes.
And perhaps some of the planetariums in India are certainly doing that. And only thing that, of course, your curiosity will continue in exploration in the phase. So as you grow up from the school education, then you enter into the undergraduate or graduates, and then the research, maybe up to the postgraduate. Then that time also you should understand, if I have to keep my curiosity going, which subject I should pursue.
Yes.
I mean, if somebody is saying that I am interested in becoming an astronomer, and he is more interested in doing the let us say the kind of a language one, so then we have to understand that his perhaps limitation, I mean his exploration is not going to be in the contributory level, because his idea, his work, everything has to go in hand in hand. So certainly the students who are more curious, trying to get into that, will certainly explore by themselves. And as a given the chance, we can only say that astronomy is if I have to say that, it is an integration of all the sciences.
Yes, yes.
It's not only that
Very
you
true.
understand the maths, then you understand the astronomy.
It includes all the subjects.
You need to have basic understanding of mathematics, physics. Certain amount of chemistry and bio is also required. If I'm not wrong, perhaps Ratnashri can correct me.
All the subjects of science are equally important. On this note, we'll take another break. And after the break, we would talk that astronomy, if you are studying astronomy as a subject, you would become an astronomer, or there are other options as well. And very interesting, Arvindji would tell us about telescope making after the short break.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. We were talking about astronomy education and the careers associated with it. Before break, Arvindji was telling us about the career option after this can be you can be an astronomer. Ratnashri ji, I want to know, there are other career options as well. After studying astronomy, it's not only that you can be an astronomer. There can be other things as well that you can do.
In general, when one is in the path of becoming an astronomer, one is doing research in this field, and so there would be perhaps that thing wish to continue that, and so the primary choice may be to be that. One may also have some other interests which may flower along the way along with this, in this sense like I started out as an astronomer, but now I am an astronomy educator in the informal sector.
Yes.
So one can, of course, teaching astronomy both at the university level or at college level, continuing with the research, that is one. Many people do that, or teaching in this informal sector. So that is definite. Along the way, people also get sometimes interested in interdisciplinary areas like the history of astronomy. So many people take that up as a very serious field of study with a lot of interest. And then astronomers who are as they're becoming astronomers, doing research in this, they have to develop a very rigorous computing skills. So many a time these computing skills, if they want to move to other fields and explore what these skills can do, so there are many opportunities of that kind.
Arvindji, you would like to guide our viewers about that?
See, as earlier what we mentioned is astronomy is actually an integration of every science. So by and large, if you look into the astronomy now, you have got the observational astronomy, you have got the what you call the X-ray astronomy, then we have got the what we call it as high energy astronomy. So basically, but if you integrate everything, one can say specialized astronomer who is expert in the solar physics, who is perhaps expert in the cosmology, who is perhaps expert in the stellar physics. However, the astronomy will remain the name with the person, but he will be having a more kind of an knowledge and the information and research, especially on the particular segment of astronomy. But ultimately, other than astronomy, if you consider, I would only say that you can be more specialized astronomer as far as the subject areas into the astronomy is concerned.
And if someone wants to go to ISRO, long way? Many young children come and ask that mainly they would say they want to become an astronaut. And so that is one. The opportunities are just growing within our country, that if such young people have this thirst, which direction that they should go to. And
if their interest is that, or their interest is in general space, astronomy, and becoming an astronomer, then this option that, okay, even if we do not get to be that person who goes out into space and learns about our very near space,
Yes, yes.
look at what very far space is sending to us and learn about it and become an astronomer. That is that is
And for
an
that
option
learning,
which
learning, we need telescopes. Please tell us about this telescope meeting.
Well, I
and
think
how-
it's not only that Vigyan Prasar is only in, a part of and designing and fabricating telescope. In fact, it starts with the planetarium. In fact, the credit goes to, of course, the entire community of the planetariums for which they have been there in making the telescope. But last, I think, nearly some 5 to 10 years, Vigyan Prasar has come up with the rigorous training programs on the telescope making. So again, if you say like what is the difference between, let us say, amateur telescope, professional telescope? Certainly the kind of telescope that we all are in, where we always take the help from the planetariums, and Ratnashri herself is involved in many of our programs. So the certain amount of telescopes which we consider it's making, rather we consider it's a assembling of telescope.
Okay.
So generally a Galileo scope, which is a simple refractor in which you are using the lenses. So you, depending on the focal length, you know what kind of a telescope that you are going to design or make. So the Galileo scope is a kind of a telescope that we prefer for the school going children, through which they can observe moon craters or some of the nearby planets like Jupiter or Mars or something. But if somebody is more interested in doing the astrophotography and all, then perhaps the smaller one will not help. So for that they will need an kind of a little more sophisticated telescope, which we call it as a Newtonian reflector telescope. So Vigyan Prasar, of course, with the help of various planetariums, we have come up with the new kind of an rather programs.
Okay.
There are 5-inch, 6-inch and 7-inch telescope that we have been making, in which it is a 10 days program, wherein the people come with simple glass slab, and then they go for the grinding and polishing and then aluminizing. Every process comes into the picture, and in the process they understand most of the physics and optics, everything, which help them to design their own kind of a telescope, fabricate themselves and use it for the various purpose like astrophotography and all.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed the show. That's all for now. Please send your feedback about the program on the given email ID. We will come back with more interesting topics in our next episode. Till then, goodbye.